What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Dave. That was so cringy. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the Man United Talks Manchester Derby preview. I am so pumped. I didn't do a Juventus review. I apologize. The Champions League review just didn't happen. But I'll talk a bit about that and the Manchester Derby. So if you do enjoy this, please drop a like and subscribe. You guys are amazing. Manchester United fan base is booming at the moment. Okay, and I'm grateful to be a part of it because it's just beautiful. Just football, YouTube in general, football fan YouTube. Apart from the Arsenal fan TVs and stuff, it's just fun to be a part of. We're putting out some good content. All the channels, it's fun to watch. So anyway, like I said, if you do enjoy this, drop a like and subscribe. Now let's talk football. So a mini Juventus review because obviously I didn't talk about that game. Didn't make a video. It was a game of just fight and dogged determination for Manchester United because obviously Juventus were at home and they had the ball for most of the time. But in what I saw, because I have watched the game back since which I was okay. Let me just say this: I wasn't able to watch the game, thus no review. I didn't even say that. Like, what is wrong with me? Thinking I just didn't upload. I was not able to post a review because I just didn't have the time. I was busy or otherwise occupied. But my biggest takeaway was something that I've been preaching forever is Ander Herrera. Ander Herrera's movement, his quickness in passing the ball, it helps Matic out. It made him look less kind of, I guess, just bad, I guess, for lack of a better word. He looked less terrible because Juan Mata. Ander Herrera was always available for Matic, and he did not hesitate to just move the ball. That was such a big part of us looking better. We didn't look great. We weren't the better team. Let's not kid ourselves. But we were better, and we're picking up a consistent I guess, run of play in these last few games. I think of all the games we played, the Chelsea game, the Bournemouth game, the Newcastle game, against what is probably the hardest opposition out of our last 4 games, we played best against Juventus in that first half. We looked better in our first half against Juventus than any of the other first halves in the last wins that we've had. So I was proud of that, or last games, because we didn't beat Chelsea. I was proud of that. But in the end, I saw the notifications pop up. I really wanted to just save it and then watch the game back. But seeing obviously Ronaldo scored, and then I saw the celebration, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset. But he's not Jesse Lingard. He's not Marcus Rashford. If they were not forced, because Ronaldo wasn't forced, but if they had to play for another club, they're obviously not going to celebrate against Manchester United, home or away. So, yeah, that was that. Ronaldo scored. Lapse of judgment by Lindelof. And that's probably the only part of his game is those little things. Like, he reads the game well. His tackling has become much better. He's obviously the best centre half we got coming out the back with the ball. And there were a couple times I saw him run out of the back with the ball, which I was very, very happy to see. Rio used to do the same things and kind of incite a forward movement with the team. But yeah, and what was the point I was making? The goals, yeah. So Ronaldo scored, and such was life. You just thought, okay, now Juventus are going to kick on and end this. To be fair to Juventus, they had several chances, and a couple fell to Khedira that if they were Ronaldo or Dybala, it may have been a different story. But it didn't happen. So later on in the game, 10 minutes left, Juan Mata, not 10 minutes left, but the last 10 minutes, Juan Mata gets a free kick, and he's just that guy, isn't he? He's clutch one. He is, and this is gonna piss off some NBA fans, but I don't care. He is our LeBron James, okay? He is clutch. The dude came up clutch with an amazing free kick. No one was saving that, especially if you leave that much space on that side of the goal. And he said he begged Ashley Young to take it, and I wouldn't have put it past Ashley Young. He smashed the post against Bournemouth, and he's a reliable set piece taker. In fairness to him. And speaking of that, later on in the game, you bring on the tree. Okay, I mean, FELLAINI and Mata came on at the same time, but great ball in from Ashley Young. In injury time. Was it injury time? I don't think it was injury time. No, it wasn't injury time. Great ball in, back post. Fellaini gets his head onto it. Some thought it was a Paul Pogba goal. I thought it was, or no, I tweeted it out because that's all I saw. I wasn't sure what happened. Um, the ball went in the back of the net, and I don't care. It was really a Bonucci own goal, but it hit off Alexandro just on the line, so they gave it an Alexandro own goal. At that point, you just don't care. You won 2-1. You're winning 2-1 at the Allianz. Is that what they call it? The Allianz Stadium or Arena? I don't know, because I know that's Barcelona's, Bayern's stadium name, but anyway, that's irrelevant. That's 3 points in the group. Now we're tied on points with excuse me, I heard something in the background. We're tied on points with Juventus in the group, which is absolutely brilliant. That is what you want in your sandwiches. Wait, are we? No, Juventus. Yeah, we are. We actually are. That's pretty damn brilliant. Okay. So let's talk about Manchester Derby now, because I gave 6 minutes of this video to Juventus, and I just need to talk about that. We beat Juventus. I mean, come on, that's beautiful. Anyway, Manchester Derby, as you see, the score report is there. That's my little score report. That's what I'm going to refer to it as. Now, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious what it is, but United sits 7th in the league on 20 points, 9 points behind City, who are first. And really, that's not a big gap at this time of the season. I mean, you could say it is a big gap, but for chasing, I've seen bigger gaps be closed. And obviously, I've got there Martial, Pogba, Lindelof as our top performers. I would put De Gea there, really and truly. I would put him there. But he always is top performing. I know he hasn't been outstanding this season, but, you know, he still is the best in the world, in my opinion. And then Juan Mata, obviously. I could put Juan Mata there instead of Pogba. But right now, it's just, we're playing decent. We're playing some solid football, and it's fluid, and it's, especially in the second half. Let's not go crazy with the fluidity, but it's getting there. You know, we're turning it up. Like I said, that first half against Juventus was much better than any other first half this season. I think that's fair. And some are saying that was Martial's best performance in a Manchester United shirt, which I wouldn't disagree with. You know, he's really just, I love it. I just love him. And as for injuries or players that are unavailable, Dalot and Lukaku after today's training session, and obviously I don't know what the outcome will be, but Mourinho said he'll find out after this training session, and obviously they have another one tomorrow. But they'll make a decision. So it's touch and go with Lukaku. I think he will end up on the bench. You know, I think at the very least he'll be on the bench is what I mean to say. And as for Dalot, there's no nailed on return date for Dalot. But other than that, Fellaini obviously came on against Juventus, so he's fit, and Valencia is also fit. I guess we should get into the lineups then, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I think if I'm going to be honest, yeah. Well, are you going to lie? Allow me. Obviously, Big Dave in net because greatest. Oh, sorry. The fact that it hurts me to have this Manchester City background right there, because some people are gonna think I'm a Man City fan, but if they look down, they see at Man United Talks. It's just what I do. It's painful to see it there, but it's just what I do. Whichever ground we're playing at, I will have the picture in the background. And it's obviously Big Dave in net. I got a back four. I think we're just gonna stick with what's doing quite decent right now. I know, we've conceded goals to Sergio Aguero, top class player. We got absolutely touched up by Bournemouth. Prior to that, who scored against us for Chelsea? We won't even talk about that. Anyway, that's the back line that's going to play more than likely. Be surprised if you see Eric Bailly, Marcus Rojo, maybe Valencia because he's fit again, but I doubt it because Ashley Young is doing decent, and he got a great assist last night. Not last night, sorry. But you know what I mean. So that's the back four. My midfield, it just is what it is, isn't it? I personally, from my heart of hearts, I'd prefer to see Herrera in for Matic, and Fred playing the right center mid position. But Mourinho loves his Matic, so it's very unlikely that we're gonna break them up. I wouldn't mind seeing Fellaini if I want to be honest with you. I really wouldn't mind seeing Fellaini because I feel like he could really cause some trouble against a very small puny City team. Like genuinely, I have no problem if Mourinho bench Fellaini off the bench in this game. I have no one problem, but I don't want to see him in defense. I want to see him in the box, absolutely. Excuse my French, but shithousing it because that's exactly how you're gonna beat this City team. You know, you look at Leicester when they beat Man City on the counter, playing long balls, although they weren't long balls into a big man. But you look at John Stones, Laporte. The only person who I could see maybe putting up with Fellaini is Company, and I don't know if he's gonna play. I just don't know. Although he loves the Manchester derby and he's been fit for the last few games, so in fairness to him, he could start. But other than him, like I said, I fancy my chances. Mangala's out. I fancy my chances, and also Otamendi's out. I fancy my chances. I've said that several times. Against Laporte, Stones. If they want to put Mendy on him, Mendy's big, but he's not bigger than Fellaini. And then you go forward, and they have Fernandinho, David Silva, Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne is out injured. Play this man. Bring him on. I don't want him to start because I want us to be comfortable, and I want the play to be fluid. So don't start Fellaini, although I wouldn't put it past Mourinho. But I have no problem if you want to chuck that plan B out to absolutely just piss all over Man City. I am not mad at it at all. Anyway, now let's move to the forward line, which is, this one's a bit interesting. I know some of you might find this a bit intriguing. But like I said, I don't know if Lukaku's going to play. But I think Alexis Sanchez has been so good down the middle, and I think he and Rashford could interchange. You know, Alexis on the right, Rashford down the middle. That right there. I know Mata's been playing great and he's been linking up just decently. It's beautiful. But I want to see us run at Man City. You know, if you play Juan Mata down the right, let's think about this now. Open your eyes for a second. You play Juan Mata down the right. They have Benjamin Mendy. Juan Mata, he finds it hard enough to stay out on the right side. So imagine him trying to track back Benjamin Mendy. It's not going to happen. Marcus Rashford isn't a big physical player, but he's much bigger than Juan Mata and much faster than Juan Mata. So he needs to be in charge of tracking Benjamin Mendy as well as Alexis Sanchez. That's why I put him down the middle, because I don't know if he tracking Benjamin Mendy is the best idea. Marcus Rashford, all right. Like, there's no other option for me unless you want to throw Herrera to mark Benjamin Mendy, or throw Pogba out to the right and put him on Mendy as a defensive assignment, because he gets out wide and has a good delivery. We cannot underestimate Manchester City. Kyle Walker, yes, is solid, but Luke Shaw and Anthony Martial, I think they'll deal with that. That's fine. The left side is our strongest side without question. Okay? Now that that's done, the football I want to see, if we play this lineup, like I said, let's just be fluid. Let's move the ball with some purpose, not just sit back and take it, because you saw what happened when we played them last season at the Etihad, and we sat back and took it. Another problem that we had last season was our defense was so spaced out. There was so much space in the middle between Smalling and Bailly, and Raheem Sterling got in several times. Bernardo Silva got in. Even Sane got in against Valencia several times. It was frustrating to watch. We cannot make it that easy. We have to be compact. If you watch Rafa Benitez, very compact. Okay, stay together. Be solid in this midfield. I don't want Matic going forward at all. If he wants to be there, I don't want to see him going forward at all. Okay, I don't. And I don't want him in the midfield because they got David Silva and Bernardo Silva who are just gonna run around him like it's nobody's business. Don't let that happen, please. Okay. And other than that, I think we're good to go. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think maybe our strongest point of threat, other than bringing Fellaini off the bench, because I think that right there is just, there's no stopping that. I'm gonna be honest. I want to see Martial running, cutting inside and running at John Stones. John Stones is a very good recovery defender. He's very good on the ball. But if you test him, you run at him, he will get turned. He will be absolutely just silver for him. This is the best lineup choice for me. I could very well, maybe not after Juventus performance. I don't think Lingard's going to start after that Juventus performance. Don't think he's bad, but it's just a little rusty. Just like Lukaku, he needs a bit of rest. Marcus Rashford is still very young, so I think that's why he's bounced back so well from the World Cup. And also, you know, he didn't play as hard as the likes of Lingard, and not play as hard, but he wasn't as heavily featured as in the system as Lingard. So that's why I said that. Don't take it the wrong way. But yeah, that's my lineup. And now let's talk. I don't know why, but let's talk about those bloody blue special ones. Okay. Like I said, first in the league, 29 points. I don't even want to talk about him. I felt it on my tongue. Okay, that's gross. It's a hair on my tongue. Okay. First 29 points. They scored 12 goals in the last two games. By God Almighty, like that's just. I mean, they played Shakhtar without Fred and Bernard, so I think Manchester United would do bits against them as well. Let's be honest. But yeah, they're top performers. I as much as I don't like them, I gotta give credit where it's due. There's way more than 3 top performers. I've just put the people who've contributed to the highest number of goals in the last couple games. Raheem Sterling got 2 goals and 2 assists against Southampton, and he scored a screamer against Shakhtar, which I have yet to see. Not a screamer, but it was a good goal. I don't know what type of goal it was, but I have yet to see it, which is probably bad on my part, seeing as I'm doing a preview. Whatever. Jesus got a hat trick, and Aguero got a goal and an assist against Southampton. 2 assists actually. He's been solid. So, and then they got David Silva, who I don't think ever has a bad game. I want to be honest. Like, he's just the way he plays and the style they play in. It's very hard for any of them to have a bad game apart from maybe the goalkeeper or Sterling not knowing how to finish. And truth be told, Sterling, our biggest strength in this game could be the fact that Sterling doesn't show up. And I'm knocking on wood right now because I really don't want him to prove me wrong. But he does not show up in the big games. Apart from, I think he scored when they beat Chelsea at the Bridge 1-0 last season. But against in the Manchester derby, especially last season, he absolutely fluffed his lines. He had several chances. They really should have been 5-0 up in the first half. Had he taken his chances, and even the second half, he had a couple chances that he did not take. So, in terms of their weaknesses, that's a big one. Although Sterling is firing, like I said, right now, so don't know if that's really a weakness at the moment. But they don't have Kevin De Bruyne. They don't have Otamendi. They don't have Gundogan. Claudio Bravo is out, but that's irrelevant because he wasn't going to start anyway. But like I said, target John Stones. 2 weaknesses. Sterling not showing up in big games, knocking on wood, because oh God, if he shows up, I'm going to blame myself. Sterling, John Stones, just run at him. And their lack of physicality. We have Paul Pogba, Nemanja Matic. If Nemanja Matic is going to play, I want him to use his physicality. Like, he's useless in terms of, like, winning headers and stuff. That's just trash for me. Let's make it a positive, okay? If Lukaku is fit, let him bully John Stones. God, I just hope Company doesn't play because, oh man. Let Lukaku, if he does play, bully them. That's what we have to do. I think that's the best way. We're not going to beat them at their own game because we don't have the personnel to outplay City with their style of football. So, bully them. That's what I want to see. You got Paul Pogba against Fernandinho, David Silva, Bernardo Silva. Those 3 players are not physical by any means. Fernandinho makes a good tackle, but let's be honest. Paul Pogba is bigger than all 3 of them standing on top of each other. Obviously not. But that about does it for me. My score prediction. I am going to say I've been spot on my last 2 score predictions. I've been spot on. And I'm going to stick with the 2-1 trend. 2-1 United. I'm going to stick with the 2-1 trend. It's going to be 1-1 in the first half. I think we're going to score first. Then they're going to tie it up. And then FELLAINI's going to come on. Because the second half, they're going to absolutely pummel us. We're going to be just on the edge of our seat, just crying at how many chances they have. And David De Gea is going to be amazing. And then Marouane Fellaini comes on and absolutely towers over whoever is in that back line to make it 2-1. And he's going to be the king of Manchester because Marouane Fellaini is Marouane Fellaini. I've said his name 3 times in the last 10 seconds. Anyway, if you did enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe. You guys are my favorite people on the YouTubes because you support me and I appreciate you. Okay? This video is 20 minutes long, so if any of you made it to the end, you guys are freaking awesome. But like I said, if you did enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe and comment your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen? What's your score prediction? And I, my friends, I'm out of here. Deuces.